Wow, today we got a little bit of a project going on. I haven't shot any video in a long time. I've been really busy, and to quite honest, as much as I love shooting videos for you people on YouTube, it makes it really hard to get anything done. So I've been really busy, and I mean, I've done sculptural pieces, a lot of gates, quite a few gates anyways. I've got a lot of gates in progress right now. I've got well, 4 right now. 3 that are really large, complex. A smaller one that I may walk through, and the smaller one is of greater importance to me at the moment because that's what today's project is. This is 1/2-inch bar. I designed a gate that requires that has twisted pickets in it, and I don't actually have a way to twist pickets. So today we're making a picket twister. So it won't be pretty, but it should get the job done. So let's get started. Okay, truth be known, I don't actually have a plan for this picket twister. I do, I kind of messed around with some ideas, and I think I have a direction, but I don't have a finished, so we're going to be experimenting along the way. So basically we need something that will act as a bearing, and I have this piece of, looks like, I think this is Schedule 80 2-inch pipe. I have no idea where it came from. It seems to be a seamless pipe. I mean, there's no telling where this came from or how I ended up with it. But what I've noticed is, and I believe this is 1.5 inches, but it slips in there really nice. Not a whole lot of slop. And I think what we're going to do is this will act as the housing and the bearing. This will slide in. We'll cut these to different lengths, of course, and then inside of this piece here, we'll build some sort of fixture that holds the 1/2-inch fixture fixed, and then we'll see what we've got after we get that far. So let's cut a few pieces of steel and see where we can go. Okay, folks, this is one of those cases where it's almost like Providence. So we have our piece here. This is going to be in there. This is what we're going to twist, but we have to have it lock onto this bar. Well, I had, like I said, I had no plans. I had no real direction I was headed. I didn't know what I was going to do. What we got, though, is being 1.5-inch pipe. The idea is roughly a little bit over 1.5 inches, thankfully. And what we're going to do is we're going to take these pieces of 1/2-inch bar, and we're going to weld them up. And as you can see, that makes a pretty good little form in there. So what we're going to have to do is I'm going to put a little bit of tape or something around this for a shim, because we don't want it to be exactly a 1/2 inch. We don't want it to be so tight that we can't get our bars in and out. But yeah, I think that'll work. We'll weld that up. We'll tack that together, see how well it fits, and then we'll slide that in there. And then once we get this inner structure all welded up nice and solid, all we have to do is weld it to this pipe, and that will give us our socket. So yeah, I think that works pretty well. Let's keep going. Okay, so now it's afternoon. The battery died on my video camera, which is what part of that deal of shooting video just slows you down. But so anyway, this is what we did. This worked out pretty well. We just nice big fat welds. You probably saw that I put a little spacer in there. That was just to keep it from, welding to this while I had it in there. But you can see this just slides right in there, real nice and neat. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut. I'm going to take that. We're going to cut these back, and then we're just going to weld to the pipe here, and that should give me a nice. I think it'll give me a really good grip on the end of my bar. We started working on this little base. I don't know if this is exactly what I want. I'm still debating a few things, like for example, this is my little head here, so I'm thinking, I don't know whether I want this raised a little bit above, or if I just want to leave it anchored, just weld it right to it. I think it'd be more stable down here, but I don't know if that traps me into a situation where if there's something I want to turn here that's a little bit bigger than, that I don't have a clearance or something. I can't imagine what that would be. I just want to use this for twisting pickets, and I don't think it's really necessarily perfect for twisting anything very big. I made it 8 feet long too. I think that might be a little overkill, but whatever. This is just 3-inch angle, 3/16 wall, or yeah, I think it's 3/16 wall, and then some square tube I'll weld. Just kind of basically holds the space, and then I was trying to figure out how the geometry, trying to figure out the geometry of the head that'll hold the other end of the picket stationary, and then also I'm going to have another something over here that'll come up that'll be a stop, so that we can, when you're doing your pickets, you lay it in, it'll have a stop on the end, so it just for repetition, and so you can do them all the same. So anyways, let's go ahead and get this head, finish this welding this thing up, and then we can focus our energies on the rest of this. All right, well that did it. That twisted my picket. You can see there, that is a twisted picket. Let's see if we can get it out of here. Let's get this off. Pull it out. So yeah, that's definitely twisted. It's got some registration issues, I'm sure. It's not exactly straight, and this is really crude. I really came close to putting that 1/2-inch socket on there, a 1/2-inch drive socket in here. but I ended up just basically building the same thing I built at this end. Another thing I'll probably do is add 2 more handles to this. These are only 24-inch long handles, but it'd be really handy to have 2 more coming out 90, you know, so it's 4-handled. Give me a little bit more grip. But otherwise, that worked. I got to build, I'm going to fiddle around with this thing here so that it's, you know, it self-aligns rather than having to just kind of fiddle, because it's got to be, you know, it's got to be in line with the other one over here. But so that's it. I always look like hell after been working out here. I always look like I've been rolling in the dirt. But anyway, I wanted to take a break. I wanted to make a little bit of a video. It's not much of a, it's not fancy. It's just something I needed to knock out for a project. I got to make some twisted pickets for this next gate. So anyway, but there you have it. Really crude homemade picket twister. I'm sure that somebody could have done better. I'm sure I could have done better, but it'll work for this project, so bye.